Good morning, students. Good morning to all. Last day we have studied about the public revenues and in what are the sources are there to earning the money from the government sides, and some of the taxes also we have studied the merits of direct taxes and the demerits of direct taxes. Today just we will go to the indirect taxes. So indirect taxes. So indirect taxes is referred to as a tax charged on a person who purchases the goods and services, and it is paid indirectly to the government. So normally all the peoples or we are purchasing many of the goods and services provided by the both private and government organizations. So when we are purchasing any of the commodities, we also will be paid the taxes as indirectly. So without knowing us, we will be paid the tax to the government. The burden of tax can be easily shifted to the another persons in this the indirect taxes. How it is possible means normally who will produce the commodities, so the producers only will be producing the commodities, and for the purpose of production of commodities he has to pay some of the tax to the government. So like that all the wholesalers and the retailers also will be pay the tax to the government for the purpose of sales tax, for the purpose of selling the goods and commodities as a sales tax. But this time this tax first paid by the producers and indirectly, so this type of the tax is going to paid by the public only. So this type of the tax always will be added or included in the price of the commodities. So these tax have to shifted from the producers to wholesalers and wholesalers to consumers. But the consumers will never knows about the paying tax as indirectly. So in this levied on all persons equally, whether rich or poor. Even if the persons may be the rich or poor. So if they are consumers, they have to pay their tax as indirectly. So there are several types of indirect taxes are there. The excess duty, sales tax, customs duty, and the entertainment tax. So how the excess duty is paid by the government means. So the excess duty payable by the manufacturer who shift the tax burden to the retailers and the wholesalers. Excess duty means for the purpose of producing the commodities. But if the tax is first paid by the producers, but it will be added into the wholesaler and the retailers. So when the tax is going to shifted from the producers to wholesalers and the retailers. Next is sales tax. The sales tax is paid by a shopkeeper or the retailer who then shift the tax burden to the customers by charging sales tax on goods and services. So this type of the tax only as a consumers, all the people are paying to the government along with the price of that commodities. Next, custom duty. So custom duty means it will be paid by the import duties. It is levied on the goods from outside the countries, ultimately paid for the consumers and the retailers. So when we are importing or exporting any of the commodities from one nation to another of the nations, or one state to another of the state, we have to pay to the customs duty. And if any of the goods are coming from one place to another of the places, the local bodies government and the corporations also will be able to pay this type of the taxes. Next, entertainment tax. So the liability is on the cinema theater owners who transfer the burden to the cinema goers. So and not only the cinema theaters, some of the parks and some of the exhibitions are there, they have to pay to the tax to the local government or the state government also. But who will get the burden of paying the tax from the owner of the theater or owner of the park? So instead of the owners, the customers only have to pay the tax along with the fees in the entrance. Next is service tax. So the service tax charged on the services like telephone bill, insurance premium, such as the food bill in a restaurant, etc. So some of the services also provided by the both government and the private organizations. By receiving their services, we have to pay the tax. Next, merits of indirect taxes. Some of the merits and the demerits also is there in these indirect taxes. First, we will study about the types of merits. What are the merits are there in these indirect taxes? So, under some of the headings, we can understood about the merits of indirect taxes. First, wider coverage. So, all the consumers, whether they are rich or poor, they have to pay indirect taxes. So, it is not only as a narrow sense. So, the indirect taxes. So, for these reasons only, it is said to that indirect taxes cover more people than direct taxes. So, in these direct taxes, some of the particular people only have to take the responsibility to pay the tax to the government, and the government also will never get the taxes from the individual peoples. But in these indirect taxes, the government will get more benefit because all the peoples have to pay the tax when they are going to purchasing or using their services provided by the organizations. For example, in India, everybody pays indirect tax as against just 2% paying income tax. So when we are comparing to the direct taxes, so the income of the indirect taxes only will be very high. Next, equitable. So the indirect tax satisfies the canon of equity when higher tax is imposed on the luxuries used by the rich peoples. So this is also considered as a equality because when we are purchasing any of the basic necessity of life, we have to pay the little bit of amount only. But when we are comparing to the peoples, rich peoples, when they are going to purchasing the any comfortables and the luxury people such as a car or ornaments, they have to pay the high taxes. Next, economical. How the direct taxes, indirect taxes are being as a economical mean. The cost of collection is less as producers and retailers and collect the tax and pay to the government. So without taking any of the effort or without having any of the arrangement, so all the consumers will be paid along with the price of that commodities. So there is no need to taking any of the other arrangements. The traders act as a honorary to the tax collectors. So the sellers only here considered as a tax collectors because so the sellers only will be get the tax along with the price, but automatically it will be reached to the government. Next, checks harmful consumption. The government imposes indirect taxes on these commodities which are harmful to health. For example, tobacco, liquor, etc. They are known as sin taxes. The government always imposing the more taxes on the harmful goods such as tobacco and liquors. But when this type of the goods are having the more taxes or the more amount of taxes, the consumers will never want to use that consumptions. So the government also will make the checks to harmful consumptions. Next, convenient. The indirect taxes are levied on commodities and services. So whenever the consumers make purchase, they pay tax along with the price. They do not feel the pinch of paying tax. So all the peoples, as I said already, everyone have to pay the tax even when they are going to purchase any of the matches box. So along with the price, when we are paying the tax to the government, the consumers will never feel they have to get that tax. Next, the demerits of indirect taxes. So even some of the merits are there to collecting the direct taxes. Some of the demerits also is there. So what are the demerits are there mean? Under the heading we will understand. First, higher cost of collection. The cost of collection of indirect taxes is higher than the direct taxes. The government has to spend huge money to collect the indirect taxes. In these direct taxes, the people, those who has the responsibility to the paying the tax, they have to pay the tax to the government as directly. But here the consumers only get the responsibilities, or the consumers only got the burden to paying the tax to the government, but the government have to spend more money to collecting the data, because the tax is collected by the consumer to retailer, retailer to wholesaler, wholesaler to producers. After that only it will be going to reach the government, so it will take some of the cost of collections. Next, it is the inelastic. So indirect taxes are less elastic compared to a direct taxes, as indirect taxes are generally proportional, because normally whenever the tax is going to increase, it will never increasing the consumption. So if the tax is increased, the consumption level will be decreased. So when the governments are going to imposing the new types of tax, or if they want to increasing the amount of tax, so the demand for that commodity will be decreased. Next, regressive. So indirect taxes are sometimes unjust and regressive in nature, since both rich and poor persons have to pay the same amount as taxes irrespective of their income level. So even if they want to any of the common commodities, the poor and the rich also have to pay the same amount of the money only. Normally, if the basic necessity of life, or if any of the shirts and bands and some of the bikes, they have to pay the same type of taxes. Next, uncertainty. The rise in indirect taxes increase the price and reduces the demand for goods. So therefore, the government is uncertain about the expected revenue collections. So when we are comparing to the direct taxes, the income level will never predictable. If the direct taxes, that is the income tax, the government, if the government predicts some amount of the money in the form of income taxes, it will become certainty. But in this indirect taxes, if the governments are increased the price, or the new taxes are imposed means, so we will never predict the amount of income. And not only that, the price is increased, the taxes increase the prices and reduce the demand for goods also. Next, no civic consciousness. As the tax is hidden in price, the consumers are not aware of paying the tax. Even so many of the people still unaware of the paying tax along with the price of their commodities. Okay students, next another one of the types of taxes. So I think you may have knows about the taxes. The goods and service taxes. Normally it is considered as a GST taxes. So this GST tax also one type of indirect taxes, which has replaced many indirect taxes in India. The Goods and Services Tax Act was passed in the Parliament on 29th March 2017. The Act came into the effect on 1st July 2017. The Goods and Service Tax in India is a comprehensive, multi-stage, destination-based tax that is levied on every value additions. So every value also will be added into the goods. The goods and service taxes is an indirect taxes levied on the supply of goods and services. This law has replaced many indirect tax laws that previously existed in India. So in previous years, the India has many indirect taxes, But now all the indirect taxes are removed. The only one indirect taxes are there for the purpose of supplying the goods and services. The goods and service tax. So here the GST tax also has some of the components. The component of GSTs are classified as three types: CGST, SGST, and IGST. This is the important components. CGST means so the central government, the central goods and service taxes. In the name itself, we can understand the central goods and service tax. SGST means the state goods and service tax. The IGST means the interstate goods and service tax. The CGST is imposed by the central government, SGST is imposed by the state government, and IGST is imposed by the interstate government. So the CGST tax is collected by the central government and an intrastate sale, and the SGST is collected by the state government. And like that, IGST tax also is collected by the central government for interstate sale. So what are the natures are there in this VAT and the GST tax means? The sales tax was multi-point tax with cascading effect, and GST is one point tax without cascading effect. Cascading effect mean so without the base tax, so we have to pay only the service tax. Okay students, next public debt. Another one of the concept, the public debt. So in the 18th and 19th centuries, the role of the state was minimum. But since nowadays the role of government is increased abundant. Now our government is considered as a modern state and the welfare state. So all the states also have to take many responsibilities. Hence, the state has to supplement the traditional revenue sources with borrowing from individuals and some of the institutions. The amount of borrowing is huge in the underdeveloped countries to finance development activities. So the government also has to providing many welfare activities to the public in their domestic nations. But when they are providing the financial, when they are providing the welfare activities, if the governments don't have the sufficient level of the finance, it will be in need of borrowing the money from any of the organizations. So for the purpose of providing the welfare activities to the public, if the governments are not having the sufficient level of the money, it will be borrowing the money from any of the institutions. So it is called public debt. So as a definition wise, if you want to understand about the public debt, the debt is the form of promises by the treasury to pay to the holders of these promises a principal sum and in the most instant increase in the principal. So it is one of the promises, is the form of promises by the treasury to pay the holders. The governments are want to going to borrowing the money from any of the individual or the business organizations or any of the financial organizations, the world level financial organizations. The government have to get the responsibility to repay the money to the government. So the public debt is also considered as a form of promises by the treasury to pay to the holders. From wherever the government is borrowing the money, it has to repay the money for them. So the government is also giving the promises to repay the money for the purpose of borrowing the money from any of the organizations. So here the public debt is classified as a two types. First one is internal public debt, after that the external public debt. An internal public debt is a loan taken by the government from the citizens or from different institutions within the country. An internal public debt only involves the transfer of wealth. An internal public debt only involves the transfer of wealth. Transfer of wealth means, so within a country, so the government can able to borrow the money. So that organizations may be as a individual or the financial organizations. Here, the government also has some of the sources to borrowing the money. That is the public debt. So the individuals who purchase a government bonds and securities. If the individual persons also can have the rights to purchasing the securities and bonds from the government. So when the governments are going to sell the securities, the individual persons can have the rights to pay the money to the government. So the government can easily take that amount as a public debt. Next, banks, both the private and public banks buy bonds from the government. So even the private bank and the public bank also will get the decide to purchasing the bonds and securities from the government. So this amount also will be considered as a public debt. Next, non-financial institutions like UTI, LIC, and some of the other government bonds. Next, the central bank can lend the government in the form of money supply. The central bank can also issue money to meet the expenditure of the government. Already we have studied the Reserve Bank of India. The central bank only has the power or the last resort to the government. So in this sense, if the governments are being on the insufficient level of money, it can borrow the money from the central bank also. Next, causes for increasing the public debt. So what are the causes are there to increasing the public debt mean? First, the war and preparation of war. So waging war has become one of the important causes for incurring debt by the government. In modern times, the preparations for war and the nuclear defense programs taken away the major share of the government revenue and so it is increased the debt. So normally our nations, even our nations are considered as a welfare nations. It also has the power and rights to protecting the peoples from the outside aggressions. So it has to paying more amount to getting the research and purchasing the weapons. So in this case, the government can have the chance to getting the more public debt. Next, social obligations. The modern states are considered to be the welfare state and they have to undertake the many social obligations like public health, sanitation, education, insurance and transport. For these all purposes, the government have to take more responsibilities and if it is not possible, they have to get into the public debt. Next, employment. The most of the government of modern days face the problem of unemployment and it has become the duty to solve this by making huge public expenditures. To solve the unemployment problem and to fight the recessions, the government has to make the public debt. So whenever the population is going to increase, the employment problem also will be increased. But the government only has to take the responsibility to solve the unemployment problem. So whenever they are going to take the or eradicate the unemployment problem, it will have the chance to make the public debt. Next, controlling inflations. The government can withdraw the excess money from the circulations of nations by raising public debt and thus prevent the price from rising. So it is also one of the reasons of controlling the inflation situations. For the purpose of controlling the inflation situations, the public has to get the government has to get the public debt. Next, fighting depression. So during the depression phase, the private investment is lacking. The government applies compensatory public spending by borrowing from the internal and external sources. So like inflation situations, the deflation situations also has to remove from the nations. The government only have to take the same responsibility to removing the depressions. But in the depression time, the private investment will be very lack. So instead of private or along with the private, the government only have to take all the responsibilities. Okay, student, I think it's enough. So in this today's concept, if you have any doubt, please ask me. Thank you.